Today we've got some huge new Assassin's Creed Hexe leaks to talk about, and honestly, if even half of this information ends up being true, this game could end up being one of the darkest and most unique Assassin's Creed games Ubisoft has ever made. Now obviously, before we start, take everything here with a grain of salt because this hasn't officially been revealed yet, but these leaks are coming from multiple insiders, including Jonathan, who's been pretty reliable with Assassin's Creed information in the past. So starting off with the main protagonist, for a while everybody was referring to the character as Elsa, but according to the newest leaks, that was apparently just a placeholder name internally, similar to how Eivor originally had the placeholder name Jorah during development. The protagonist's real name is reportedly Anika, and it gets even crazier because according to the leaks, Anika is supposedly a descendant of Claudia Auditore, Ezio's sister. If that's actually true, this would be a massive connection back to the older Assassin's Creed games and could explain why Ubisoft is suddenly bringing Ezio back into the conversation again. Now, before people start freaking out thinking Ezio is somehow alive during Hexe, the leaks don't really suggest that. Instead, insiders are saying Ezio will reportedly return through multiple voice lines and potentially appear through flashbacks, Isu visions, memories, or something connected to the Animus. So it doesn't sound like a full physical return, but more of a narrative connection to the Ezio bloodline and assassin history. And honestly, that makes sense, trying to reconnect Assassin's Creed back to its older roots recently. We already saw that with Mirage going back to stealth focused gameplay, and Hexe looks like it's pushing even further into the darker side of assassin lore. Now, in terms of the setting, Würzburg is reportedly going to be the main location in the game alongside several other explorable regions surrounding it. And if you know anything about the real history behind that area, especially during the witch trials and religious paranoia of that time period, then you already know this game could get seriously dark. A lot of the leaked dialogue reportedly references witch hunts, rituals, relics, curses, blood pacts, and fear spreading throughout villages. Ubisoft apparently wants the atmosphere to feel tense almost all the time, with civilians distrusting each other and constantly reacting to suspicious behavior, and that ties directly into one of the bigger gameplay leaks because apparently NPCs will immediately report suspicious activity. So unlike some of the recent RPG games where you could pretty much cause chaos without much reaction, Hexe sounds like it's bringing back heavier stealth consequences. If guards or civilians spot you doing something suspicious, word spreads fast, meaning stealth is supposedly going to play a much bigger role again. That alone already sounds way more classic Assassin's Creed compared to the recent games. Now, another major gameplay leak involves traversal. According to insiders, the forests in Hexe are going to be heavily explorable, and you'll apparently unlock abilities that allow tree-to-tree branch movement, almost like a progression system tied to traversal itself. That sounds really interesting because Ubisoft has never fully committed to forest parkour like this before. We've had bits of it in Assassin's Creed 3 and some wilderness movement in previous games, but Hexe sounds like it's making forests a huge gameplay focus instead of just open land you ride through on a horse. And the darker supernatural vibe probably makes that even better, because imagine moving through these giant forests at night while being hunted or trying to avoid villagers and guards during witch trials. Now, one of the biggest things people are talking about though is Jonathan reportedly saying the story could be the best Assassin's Creed narrative since Origins. That's a pretty massive statement considering how much people loved Bayek and the story in Origins. And honestly, if Ubisoft really focuses on atmosphere, stealth, psychological horror elements, and a more grounded narrative instead of bloated RPG systems, this game could actually end up standing out massively from the recent titles, because right now Hexe doesn't sound like a typical Assassin's Creed game at all. It sounds darker, more focused, more narrative driven, and honestly way more experimental. Are you excited for Assassin's Creed Hexe, or are these leaks sounding a little too different from traditional Assassin's Creed? Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.